Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about the month of November if you're a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So in general, this month is going to be very focused on your home life, how you relate to your family members. You may also find yourself spending a lot of time at home. During the month of October, you could have had a lot of energy focused on kind of being by yourself in your living area, in your living space. You may have started working from home. You may have also just had like a lot of focus on kind of protecting yourself, protecting your energy, protecting your boundaries. A lot of those themes could have kind of come up for you during the month of October. The month of November is going to start to feel a little bit better as we kind of get into it, but as the month of November is going to start to feel a little bit better. You will begin to have a lot more energy. You may also find yourself still kind of focusing on spending more time by yourself. That might be another thing you may find yourself more focused on. You may also find yourself focusing a lot on your work life and the things you do every single day. You may find yourself exercising more frequently and really leveling up as it relates to the way you present yourself. You may exercise more, you may be going to the gym, you may be doing things as it relates to how you present yourself and becoming a better version of yourself. You may start a health and fitness journey this month. You may also find yourself eating healthier, exercising, taking better care of your body and your physical health, and just generally taking better care of yourself. We're going to have a lot of major transits during the month of November that are going to have you really think of yourself in the mirror and kind of see yourself in the person who you desire to become. Like, what type of person do you aspire to be? This month will also be a major time of reflection and kind of working on leveling yourself up from behind the scenes and making sure you are the best version of yourself. You may also find yourself focusing on shared resources this month, other people's resources, inheritances, taxes. You may get some sort of major tax rebate or tax refund this month. You may also receive some sort of sudden inheritance as well. That's also very likely to happen this month. During the month of November, you'll have a major focus on those type of financials. I would also say, because you're going to be so focused on your work life this month, there will be some focus there on entrepreneurship or starting a side hustle or a business to really elevate yourself financially, and kind of also really making sure your profession is more of an extension of yourself and how you see yourself. That might also be a major theme that you'll be kind of seeing during the month of November. On November 4th, we will have Mars entering the sign of Sagittarius, which is your sign. And this is going to be a time where all of a sudden you start being like, okay, I want to exercise. I feel more motivated to eat healthy. I'm going to start working on my appearance. I'm going to start working on myself. And you may find yourself really working on becoming a better version of yourself. Mars is all about drive and action. So you may find yourself putting a lot of energy towards self-improvement and becoming a better version of yourself. That might be a major theme that you'll experience after November 4th. So a lot of focus on those themes of self-improvement, self-betterment, etc. On the 7th, we will have Venus enter the sign of Scorpio. And for you, when Venus is in the sign of Scorpio, this is a time of seclusion, protecting your energy. So this is the type of energy where it's like you're putting a lot of effort and emphasis into the way that you present yourself, into your looks, into the way you want to be seen. And it's also a time of great self-reflection while also protecting your energy. This may also have a lot to do with intensity, with relationships right now, and spending a lot of time by yourself while also working on yourself. So you may be working from home, you may be protecting your energy, but also like eating really healthy, exercising, working on the way that you present yourself, and just kind of really like going through a major metamorphosis behind the scenes. This is this type of energy. You may also really focus on starting a business or something involving like a side hustle that could really elevate your finances. And when you do, you will also find yourself becoming very successful. I would say that Venus in the sign of Scorpio for you is good to do it, start things behind the scenes. So like maybe you begin a project that launches in 2026 that isn't 100% seen by everyone until 2026. Like you could be putting in a lot of work right now, launches next month or even in January, that type of thing. On the 8th, we will have Uranus go back into the sign of Taurus after it being retrograde in the sign of Gemini since September. So when it goes back into the sign of Taurus, this is a lot of focus on your daily routine, your health, the way that you kind of work on self-betterment, self-improvement. This will go really nicely hand in hand with the fact that you have Mars in the sign of Sagittarius, which is your sign, putting a lot of energy and focus on self-improvement, self-betterment, bettering your physical health, becoming a better version of yourself, that type of energy. You may find yourself again exercising, having a better fitness regimen, having a better exercise routine, that sort of thing. On the 9th, we will have Mercury retrograde this month. So we will have Mercury retrograde in the month of November. It will begin on November 9th, and it will begin in your sign in Sagittarius. It will go back into the sign of Scorpio on the 19th, and on the 29th, it will go direct in the sign of Scorpio. So during this time, it's going to be a lot of focus on yourself, a lot of focus on how you can improve yourself and how you connect with spirituality. When we really get into Mercury retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, very, very spiritual place. You may also turn to astrology to kind of guide yourself on the day-to-day, especially with the other things happening in other areas of your chart. And also, again, major focus on self-improvement and becoming a better version of yourself. On the 29th, it will go direct in the sign of Scorpio, and this will kind of give you more clarity around the direction you want to go in and how you're going to really level yourself up and really upgrade yourself into the next version of yourself. On November 11th, so 11/11, we will have Jupiter retrograde. It will be in the sign of Cancer. For you, this could be sudden inheritances happening, receiving a sudden tax break, a sudden rebate, something involving other people's resources or also shared resources, so like taxes. So you may finally receive something that you were supposed to receive. You may suddenly receive some sort of financial gain, some sort of financial increase. You may also find yourself like all of a sudden finally starting that business, finally starting that side hustle and seeing a lot of financial gains. We will have Jupiter retrograde from November 11th or 11/11 until March. So you will continue this energy of working more and working better in order to improve yourself financially, and also kind of navigating intense relationships in order to survive and come out much stronger on the other side. You may also focus a lot on psychology and growing a lot either as like an astrologer or somebody who is interested in that type of thing, or also just learning more about psychology as well and really leveling up with your knowledge of psychology. On the 22nd, we will have the sun entering the sign of Sagittarius. So for you, this is another like thing that will make you feel a lot more confident. You'll begin having a little bit more energy, and you'll also continue the self-improvement journey that you began at the beginning of this month. This is a lot of focus on how you see yourself, how other people see you. This will be a time where you may focus on self-improvement, exercising, doing something with your wardrobe, your hair, your nails, something to really have you start to feel a lot more confident. And when we talk about Thanksgiving this year, on the 27th, we're going to have a lot of major things happening. Saturn will turn direct in the sign of Pisces after a very long time retrograde. It's been retrograde since July. It's going to go direct on Thanksgiving. So this is going to make things a lot easier for your home life. So if you're having Thanksgiving, like if you're hosting it, you may have things become a lot easier that day. With Mercury retrograde and Scorpio, you may find yourself seeking seclusion. So you may find yourself seeking seclusion on Thanksgiving, but it's like your home life will start to become a lot easier and a lot better. And it's like you're gonna have things start to become a lot easier and things are gonna start making a lot more sense, but you may still kind of work to really protect your energy. You may do things on Thanksgiving to kind of like be in an area that's not so crowded, that type of thing. On the 29th, we will have Mercury turn direct in the sign of Scorpio. So you may find yourself just kind of having a little bit more energy and having a better sense of kind of like who you are and what kind of chapters you are going to be closing for a new chapter to begin to open. And you will also become more inclined spiritually. You may have a better spiritual practice at this point, and you may also begin to incorporate manifestation into your day-to-day. You may also be incorporating things like astrology into your day-to-day life in order to become a lot better and start to really self-improve. And on the 30th of November, this is going to be an amazing transit for you, but Venus will be entering the sign of Sagittarius, which is your sign. So when we reach November 30th, that is going to be when things are finally going to get better again. You will still have Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, but all the major planets are going to be in the sign of Sagittarius and no longer in the sign of Scorpio. Things are going to start to feel a lot easier for you. Things will start feeling a lot better. You will also really finally blossom. Like, you may find yourself becoming a lot more confident. You may receive more compliments. And generally, you're going to start to feel more like yourself, and you're going to have like, you're going to come out of your cocoon, and things are going to feel a lot better. And you're also going to start like a glow up. Venus through your first house is really, really good for finances, relationships, glow up energy, aesthetics, anything you want to do to beautify yourself. That is going to start becoming a lot easier, a lot better, and you're going to start to really level up on the 30th. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more astrology updates.